evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris is back for some more Hearthstone Arena action. You know, I'm really excited to play Shaman again. I had three 9-win Shaman arenas in a row. Let's see if we can keep that streak going. I kind of want to quit while I'm ahead, but Shaman is a really fun class, and I've just learned to be okay with the fact that the healing totem sucks now. It's all deep in the past, those days of yore when the healing totem would actually heal you. So it's got great cards, this class. Let's go ahead and give it another whirl in the arena. Alright, starting off with a good rare, which is something of a treat for me. I seem to be the king of drawing crap rares. Lightning Storm is global removal. Shamans, that's sort of their big weakness. They're not super great at the global removal. Lightning Storm is about as good as they come for Shamans. So let's go ahead and pick it up right here. Okie dokie. Well, Wind Fury is a bit of a marginal card. I'm not a big fan. Problem with Wind Fury is that it doesn't help creatures kill other creatures too much unless you can survive the attack against the first creature that you're attacking. It's not that great. So I'm not a big fan of this, really. And this guy is nifty and all, but let's take the Blue Glow Warrior. The reason he's the card here is it's basically 2 damage for 2 mana. Kind of. Taunt gets in the way of that, but yeah. I'm just going to play this card. I think it's better to have a bad removal card than a weirdo giant that your opponent's just going to ignore all the time. Okay, well, Raid Leader's great for Shamans, I think. For other classes, maybe not as much. You know, Shamans and Paladins with their hero ability, putting stuff on the board, being able to turn your totems into fodder that runs into stuff and deals a plink of damage is pretty good. Frost Shock is removal, quote-unquote, but the freezing I'm not a super big fan of. I like the Earth Shock, which does a silence. So here we'll take the Raid Leader over the marginal removal. Speaking of which, there's Earth Shock. Oh, this is a quality pack. Oh my gosh. This is a really good pack. So I think, it's actually, I don't know whether Earthshock or Spellbreaker are better. I mean, the Spellbreaker is a body, but it's more expensive and doesn't deal any damage. The Earthshock, you're kind of getting the best of both worlds there. You can kill something or you can silence something. I mean, the Flamesong Totem is just fantastic as well. Oh gosh, I can't pass on Flamesong Totem. I would love to have 1 in my deck. 2 I'm not so sure about, but 1 I definitely want to have. Let's just hope we see another Earthshock at some later time. Alright, well this is a fine card, the Brewmaster, but Lightning Bolt. I seem to continue to have my good luck finding tons of Lightning Bolts. So here we've got the Mediocre Taunter, which I'm not a big fan of, the Stealthy Dude. Let's just take the Worgen. It's a quality 3-drop, very scary. Somebody on Reddit posted a really neat trick with Ancestral Healing. You can actually cast this on your opponent's creature and give it taunt. So if your opponent's hiding a creature behind a taunting wall, you can actually basically bring the creature they're hiding to the forefront and kill it. But it's not as good as, I mean, even with that, it's not as good as either of these cards. So both have their pros and cons. The Silvermoon Guardian with the Divine Shield makes it difficult for your opponent to play stuff, and this will often just like 2 for 1 or threaten to. Whereas the Brewmaster is just bigger. And the returning stuff to your hand can actually be really cool. You can, like, pop back a Spell Power Totem and then save it for when you need it. That kind of stuff. I think we'll give the nod to the Brewmaster here over the Divine Shield guy. Okay, perfect. So we have this dude, but he's not as good as Earthshock, which gives me silence and a little bit of damage. Okay, well, Frostwolf Warlord is amazing for Shamans because you do have the totems coming out onto the board. So definitely better than these two little guys. And we have an epic. Finally! Sea Giant! I really wanted to play with this card for a while now. I think it's the best of the Giants. Molten Giant, we've seen on this channel the final turn free irrelevant Molten Giant special where your opponent drops it and then loses. Obviously the Sea Giant's better than the Doomsayer. Doomsayer is sort of like global removal, but it can be stopped. Sea Giant is just an 8/8, which is often going to be quite cheap, so we're going to go ahead and pick it up here and be happy doing it. I could grab a second silence, so we have the Earthshock for silence, the Owl for silence, would be pretty covered for silence. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I mean, these are okay 3-drops. The Panther's great, it can kind of trade up, but this Fragile Body sort of annoys me more and more the more I play with it. Let's just grab the Owl here for silencing. Okay, well, we have a mediocre pick here, which is a bit sad. I wish the pack that had Flametongue Totem, Earthshock, and Spellbender, which one of those cards had made their way in here? I think of these mediocre cards, this is the best just because it is Taunt. And because Amani Berserker is so good that even making it cost 1 more mana, it's still pretty good. Alright, we have another epic. The Molten Giant, as I've famously declared many times, I'm really not a fan of. Phases Manipulator has lots of cool applications. We're going to go ahead and pick it up here. That's a strong card. Here, I could use more 4-drops, and the Stormwind Knight charges, so it's sometimes quite good. But the Harvest Golem is very strong, so we're going to go ahead and grab that up. And we have a bunch of good cards all in one place. Direwolf Alpha is definitely solid, especially with your totems. But let's make sure we get one Bloodlust in the deck. One Bloodlust is nice for those surprise kills. Ah, crap. So when I took this Flame Tongue totem over the Spellbreaker and the Earthshock, I was hoping one of the other cards would come back. Instead, the Flame Tongue came back. Do I want a second Harvest Golem? No, I think I'd actually rather have a second Flame Tongue totem. Okay, Dark Iron Dwarf has got to be the pick here. First of all, I need a 4-drop. The Brewmaster's okay, but the Dark Iron Dwarf with the buffing is just great for Shamans, because you can buff a totem and deal 2 damage with it. So that's really solid. Got to get that when you have a chance. Uh-oh. I think a third Flame Tongue totem is starting to get a bit silly. I'm lacking on Taunt, but I don't want to take this, what I consider very mediocre Taunter. We'll take the Silvermoon Guardian there for the Divine Shield annoyance. Aha! Fire Elemental! I could use more late game, and this is about as good as they come. We're going to happily snap that up. And we have 2 unplayable 1-drops and the Ravenhold Assassin. Happily snap that up. Okay, here we'll take the Stormwind Knight over the Mad Bomber, I think. This Mad Bomber, he's a bit YOLO-y for my taste. I've had him do great things, I've also had him just suck terribly. Right, Shield Master is perfect, we do need some taunt, and this is one of the best taunting cards in the game. Crap! Oh, I passed over something good to take this Bloodlust, a Direwolf Alpha, and a Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Yeah, and now... Okay, so in my last Shaman Arena, or my second to last, I actually did have 2 Bloodlusts, and it never really bit me except for one game. There was one game I lost, and they were both sitting in my hand. I will take those odds over these sort of mediocre cards. This is a combat trick. It's sometimes nice, but it's just such a small body, and this is a 4/6 for 5 mana, which is, yeah. Let's go ahead and go for the gold, go for the glory, grab that other Bloodlust. Okay. Well, the War Golem's late game, but he's pretty weak, so it's really between another Frostwolf or the Earthenring Farseer. Now, the Frostwolf Warlord, the risk is if you're behind and your board is empty, you can get nothing to stick, and then the Frostwolf Warlords are both, and you draw both of them, they're just both going to be 4/4s for 5 mana, which is a disaster. Now, the Earthenring Farseer, I'm beginning to appreciate more and more. Having 1 or 2 life-gaining cards in your deck, I think that, life is very precious in Hearthstone, much more than I realized at first. I think a lot of us former Magic players are coming into the game thinking, you know, like Magic players do, life is a resource. And that's true in Hearthstone, but it's also, like, drops deceptively fast, because at any point in time, your opponent's creatures can just start attacking you directly. So it's a very, very thin line that's keeping creatures trading with each other rather than attacking the opponent directly, and just dealing startling amounts of damage. So I'm actually going to make the crazy play here. I'm going to take the Farseer, get the life gain here, and not have the risk of these Frostwolf Warlords clogging up my hand when I'm behind. I mean, I've got a pretty decent late game. We've got the Manipulator, the Warlord, the Elemental, the Assassin, and the Giant. So we got 5 big cards. Might get one more big one in the last few picks. But the Frostwolf Warlord's not a guaranteed big card. So, like, if this were like a Boulderfist Ogre, I'd probably take it over the Farseer. But this is a bit of a gamble, so I'm going to grab the Farseer instead. Alright, we have a third Bloodlust. No thanks. Let's take the best 2-drop in the game. Hex. Well, you really can't pass on a Hex. Well, I have a lot of 3s. I don't want to take more of them. So what I'm going to do is take the Kobold Geomancer. I'm not going to play him on turn 2 unless I'm desperate. The hope with this is to play it and then immediately Lightning Bolt or then Earthshock and deal surprising damage thanks to the spell damage. Lightning Storm is a good combo. So Kobold Geomancer, you kind of want to hang on to it in your hand, ideally, if you can, and just drop it down at the same turn as a spell to deal a little bit of extra damage with that spell. Okay, well, I can take a mediocre 5-drop. Oh, God. I think this might be right. Man, I've seen so many of these owls. Do I just want another owl? No, I don't think I want that much silence. Let's take this. Even though it's mediocre, I don't need more 3-drops, and I could use some more harder-hitting creatures in my deck. Okay, well, this is an expensive card, but a bad one. We'll take another Hex. And finally, we have a rare. Ah, ha, 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 ha! Ancient Mage, baby! Sometimes I forget things. Yeah, he was really good when I played him in my last Shaman deck, because you often have a totem or 2 sitting around, and you can give your totems spell damage, and then your spells do great things. Now, in this deck, unlike in my last decks, I don't have 15 scurbajillion lightning bolts. I just have the 1, the Earthshock, a Lightning Storm, and a couple of Hexes. That's pretty much it for removal, so he might not be as good, but still. It ended up being a decent card. He's got a solid body. I think I'd really like him to be a 3/5 rather than a 2/5, but whatever. We'll take what we can get. Besides, that rare pack sucked. It was Ancient Watcher, Sun Fury Protector, which is just a 2/3 basically, and him. Okay, we're first up. The Ironbeak Owl I am actually going to keep against Northshire Clerics, even though it dies to a Northshire Cleric. Oh god, it just dies to a Northshire Cleric after the Northshire Cleric is silenced. But I think I have to keep it because that Northshire Cleric is too good. Let's ship this guy back, though, see if we can get something else early on. Raid Leader might be good, actually, to help the Owl trade up against something. Alright. If I were going second, I'd be coining out a totem, so I could Flame Tongue on the second turn. And attack right away. Tuvau, ooh, that's a cursor, that's a tilde on top of that A. Alright, no Northshire Clerics, it seems like. Master Swordsmith, haha. Well, I don't want to play the Owl and just have it die, so that's no good. Let's go ahead and just flip a totem here. Healing Totem. Alright. This is actually kind of nice. It means I can play Flame Tongue and then attack for 2. And then the Healing Totem would heal up the point of damage from the Swordsmith. So like this does nothing. Actually, unless he's going to deal a point of damage, which I don't know how a Priest would do. That was a mistake. So the Priest just realizes that was a mistake, because the Healing Totem is just going to heal this damage. He might as well have attacked me, and that would have actually done something. Flame Tongue. Okay. Well, oh, I see. No, that wasn't a mistake at all. Never mind. I'm sorry. I take everything back. Because now, if I buff the Healing Totem, I can't attack into this guy. I will actually, my Healing Totem will die. I don't really want to lose it. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is play the Raid Leader then. I'm going to swing at my opponent, keep the Healing Totem alive, and the hope then is that next turn I will play Flame Tongue Totem, and then attack into this guy for 3 damage. So that we're ultra buffing this Healing Totem, making it happen. Alright, Raid Leader. Oh, that's unfortunate. So now his Raid Leader kills my Raid Leader. Or actually kills my Healing Totem. Interesting. Wow. Interesting choice there. I guess that makes a certain kind of sense. So, alright. Anyway, here I think a decent play is just to play this guy. I can kill both of these things. So the Raid Leader is going to die against no matter who it hits. So I might as well have him hit the Raid Leader. And then smack-a-doodle-doo. And pass the turn. Okay, so I say I won this opening. We're coming close to this Fire Elemental dropping like a Mack truck onto my opponent. And I've got Flame Tongues to buff shit like crazy. And plus this guy. This guy's a good combo. You could play him, then play Flame Tongue Totem right away. Surprise 4 damage out of nowhere. Shadow Word Pain. Well, this guy's already done his job. He killed a creature, so that's an official 2-for-1 here. My opponent has spent his coin, so cards are equal. He's already spent his coin and his extra card for going second. So yeah, I think I'm in great shape. Alright, now, I don't want to give away any of my surprises here, so let's just go ahead and play the Warrior. Now, I could play the Flame Tongue, because it's probably going to be better than a random totem. But I'm not gonna. I'm just going to keep my surprises in my back pocket, boys. We're going to just pass yonder turn, wait for my opponent to you know, do some stuff here. And then we'll drop our fat tricks. Ha ha ha, that's very cute. Oh my god, that might actually survive against my shit. Crap. Well, let's think. I can actually play both totems and this guy, and he will actually swing for 6 damage. That's one option. Another option is to silence, bringing it back down to 3 health. Then I could play Flame Tongue Totem, smack into it, kill it, go down to 1 health, and be enraged. Interesting. I think, though... Yeah, I think what I really want to do is this, and you have to be careful how you do this stuff. So here's how we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to do this right here. Then we're going to swing over top. Then we play this guy. Then we play the other Flame Tongue. And then we attack. So it's important to do it this way, because if I just like drop my Bluegill Warrior and put the Flame Tongues around it, then I wouldn't have gotten to deal like basically an extra 4 damage to my opponent. So when you have like charging things, or like a persistent buff like a Flame Tongue or a Direwolf Alpha, you need to actually be careful with your ordering. You first have something attack, then you insert something in between, and then you have the new thing attack. Now, the disadvantage is that I had to surround the Bluegill Warrior with the Flame Tongue, so the Flame Tongues end up touching each other. That's not actually the greatest. It's much better to have them touching something else. Okay, so we have a couple of options, as always, for dealing with this Fen Creeper. One is we could drop an Owl, silence it, and then we're going to end up swinging for 4, 6, 8, 10 damage, down to 14 health. That is no joke. I can even get him down to 12 health with the help of the Dark Iron Dwarf. That's one option. Another option is to drop a Fire Elemental, shoot this for 3, get it down to 3 health, and then trade the Tauren Warrior, which I'm a bit sad about, but do that and then kill it. And then swing for 2, 4, 6 with a Fire Elemental on the board. Another option is to play Dark Iron Dwarf, pump the Tauren Warrior that way, swing in, kill it, and then swing for 6, but then that way I can also make a totem and I keep the Fire Elemental in my back pocket. Alright, we're going to do it that way, I think. I don't know if this is correct. It certainly was tempting to just ignore it, but I like killing my opponent's stuff. And I also like the ability to make another totem here, because it's nice as a shaman if you can get your totems out there so that you are able to predict better what you're going to get. So like now I know I have a 50-50 shot of getting spell power. Let's say I really, really need spell power. It's nice to have a higher chance of picking it right up. Granted, at the moment, spell damage doesn't make any difference. And I've got this guy in the wings for +2 spell damage at the moment. That's pretty cool. What's really great is I'm actually very safe against Holy Nova. Only my totems die to Holy Nova right now. Divine Spirit. Okay, so he might have an Inner Fire to make this a 10-10. The good news is that all that's going to do is kill my totem, and then I can silence it afterwards. So I don't actually feel any pressure to kill that thing. Let's just see if I can win. 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 damage. Okay, I can't quite win just yet. But man, is it going to be tough for my opponent to come back when he's down to 5 health. Alright, we're just going to go for it. Let's make a totem. And just shoot him in the face. So my board is actually full right now, which means I cannot play the Silencer, but it will be a trivial thing to just throw my Searing Totem into my opponent's creature and then make way. Alright, Holy Nova is going to kill all of my totems anyway. He better have something good though, because my Fire Elemental is, you know, only needs 1 creature's backup in order to kill my opponent. So does he have any other thing he can do? He's going to kill my Dark Iron Dwarf. That's actually not smart, because the Dark Iron Dwarf is getting buffed. Yeah, there you go. That's the smart way to do it. And, oh no, looks like he doesn't have an answer here. This is 6, 8, 10 damage. What is it, a Voodoo Doctor? Does he actually have a Voodoo Doctor? To let him survive 1 more turn. Oh, Power Word Shield. Well, my opponent messed up. He should have done this first. That should have been the first thing he did this turn, is pay a mana, draw a card, because who knows what he would have gotten. Anyway, that's the game. Well played, Mr. Tuveho. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. Tilde on top of an A. Is it Tuveho? Well played. But yeah, kids, always draw cards first. The last thing he did that turn, on his final turn of the game, was he played a 1 mana spell that drew him a card. That should have been the first thing he did, because who knows, that card might have enabled him to get back in it. Maybe it was like a Shadow Word Death, or I don't know. If he had like a plus spell damage, he could have killed more stuff with Holy Nova. It would have killed both my Flame Tongues. That would have dramatically decreased how much damage I was able to put out. Anyway, that was a good game, and as always, we're going to play a couple of games here in this first video before continuing the series in a second video. We're up against a Hunter. J-Hex, the Hunter. Makes it sound like a shaman name. Yo, what up, J-Hex in his house? I'm first again. We don't need Bloodlust, we don't need this, and actually we also don't really need that. I mean, yes, it's a 2-drop, but I don't really want to be playing that on turn 2. Let's try to get our other actual 2-drops here. Oh dear, that's none of them. Okay, well this is just worse than what I mulliganed, but I like to mulligan aggressively. I think in the long run it helps more than it hurts. Okay, well, this is really bad actually. I have nothing until turn 4 besides, you know, totems. So I could be in some deep-ass shit. Alright, so there's a totem. Taunt, that might actually be really nice. That'll save a little bit of damage off of my face. Oh my gosh, I really wish I hadn't mulliganed that. I had a Kobold Geomancer, I had the, Sen'jin Shieldmaster. Well, the Sen'jin Shieldmaster's back, but damn, this is a slow start. Alright, the Healing Totem is not really going to help here. Now, next turn I have a decent play. I can play this doo-doo, kill off the Bloodfen Raptor, heal from the totem. That's pretty cool, I suppose. Harvest Golem, good card. It's very good for totem clearing, and it's quite resilient. It also survives against this guy. Anything better? Oh, I could play Bluegill Warrior. Kill that. No. We need to put something on the board that actually stays there. Let's do this. Healing Totem, making it rain here because now this guy survives a hit from the Harvest Golem, which is important. Next turn I could play the Booty Bay, although honestly the Shield Master might be better just because it has the extra point of health, and currently it's, you know, killing everything that's on the board, but of course that can all change in a heartbeat. If my opponent were to play, say, a Chillwind Yeti, I would definitely play the Booty Bay then. Oh, who's the pro player? From down south. Oh yeah, okay, so, Lightning Bolt, does that change anything? Hang on. Well, I could Lightning Bolt and then run my guy in and die. No, that's dumb. I could play this. Lightning Bolt will deal 4 damage. Oh, if I only had one more thing on the board. This Ancient Mage would be the Bizhouse, and then the Lightning Bolt could kill the Chillwind. Well, since that's not the case, we're going to do this. Hide behind the taunt. This does survive multi-shot, which is really good. Hunters could kill it with Explosive Shot, but I think that's a rare. Deadly Shot, come on. Okay, I lucked out. My not-so-good guy died, and that was 3/5 of his mana. Starving Buzzard, okay. That can die. I can send my Bluegill in for that, and they're going to trade. Okay, so my opponent's got the advantage here for sure. He's got creatures on the board, I have nothing, but he hasn't actually dealt damage to me yet, which is great. Ooh, Fire Elemental. Good card. But I think I'm going to preserve my life total. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Senjin. I'm going to play the Bluegill Warrior, because I don't want to be overloaded next turn, if I can help it. Let's kill off that Buzzard. Pass the turn. Man, that Bluegill Warrior, I have to say, I'm impressed with that guy. I think I only ever take him when he's in, like, bad packs. But it was really great right there. I mean, 2 damage for 2 mana. Not a good removal spell, but, I mean, it's solid. So, next turn, probably going to Fire Elemental, but we'll see. Oh, man, there's the coin. That could be really scary. Oh, shit. What's he playing for 7 mana? Corehound. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Ah, boy. It's time for Papa Boris to put on a clinic for why Corehound is a bad card. I could actually Hex it, but nope. I'm pretty sure this is better. 4, 6, 7. Yep, 7 mana exactly. Yeah. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Oh, spell damage. Nope. That's only 4 damage. Okay, so we're going to do the Ancient Mage. Does this have +2 spell damage? So this is 6 damage now? Yeah, and there we go. So Corehound's just terrible. An Ancient Golem would have lived through that. I'm gonna actually kill this thing. An Ancient Golem would have lived through that. A Boulderfist Ogre would have lived through that. Stormwind Champion would have died, but Corehound, just the 5 health on a 7 mana creature is just insanely bad. It's a beast. Maybe that's why the Hunter's playing it, because it's a beast, and, you know, beasts do things. Wow, silencing my already damaged taunt? What? I guess he's desperate? Oh man, I think my opponent's just got a bad draw. I can't imagine any other reason why you'd silence someone that was already damaged so much. Okay, I can drop an 8/8 for 4 mana here. But let's think before we act. Can I kill my opponent? Bloodlust is 5 + 9. No, I really can't. Fire Elemental would kill something. Can I kill stuff myself? I could kill the da-da-da. I could kill the da-da-da. If I play the Fire Elemental, I don't have any mana left. If I play this, I can still Hex. There's nothing here worth hexing, though. Actually, I guess I could Hex the Harvest Golem and just gamble that nothing good's gonna come up. You know what? Let's just play this. I feel like... No. I'm gonna play the Fire Elemental. I'm gonna do it. I gotta trust my instincts. We're gonna kill the most damaging creature. We'll trade into the Golem. These are both 2/1, so it doesn't matter who I hit. We'll just hit that thing. Pass turn. So you can kill my spell damage Golem, but that's pretty much it. Without some help from his cards. And I can still play... I mean, he's not as cheap as he was, but I can still play this guy. It's not like that big of a deal. Plus, I can always totem up. And then still be able to play him. Okay, that's another very weak card, although it trades against my Fire Elemental, so it's pretty nice here. Just gonna kill my spell damage totem, alright. Flame Tongue. Oh my god, that's really good. That is extremely good. We're gonna just drop it in the middle, I think. My Ancient Mage just... Can I win? 12 damage? No. Well, hang on. 12 plus 9... Nope, I just haven't dealt any damage to him because of the Priestess. I have such ridiculous card advantage. You know what? This thing... It's not a beast. He's not gonna buff it. Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna deal 8 damage to his face. Let's, play this. And... Oh my god, I miscounted. I'm sorry, folks. That was a mistake. I miscounted. I thought that the discount would be enough, but it was actually it was not enough. So I can't actually play this and the Healing Totem. That is my mistake. I apologize. But anyway, I think we're still in pretty good shape here with an 8-5 against his 2-1. Twilight Drake is a bit weak here, so it ain't no thing. Ah, that's pretty good. I think now might be the time for the Hexadoodle-Doo. You know, I would have been better off if I had put the Fire Elemental over here, then the Healing Totem would be buffed. Huh, good to know for next time. Okay, can I Totem Frostwolf and Sea Giant? Let's think. Totem, I'm at 8 mana. 8 minus 5, I'm at 3 mana. Yeah, I can actually do that. We're gonna do it. Do this. I'll actually put some things on this side of the Flame Tongue Totem. Let's drop this thing. Hunters don't have really any global removal to speak of. So, we'll just pass the turn. This guy had 5 health, so there was no need to run him into the Twilight Drake. So I figured I'd let him do that if he wants. That could be, let's see, an explosive shot or a freezing shot, most likely. I think I'm just going to win with Bloodlust, though. Okay, does Bloodlust win me the game here? Let's think. Bloodlust, I got, well, see, I have Bloodlust. Let's assume it's Freezing Trap. Bloodlust, trigger Freezing Trap, this slides over, kill it. We've got 10 plus 8 is 18, 18 plus 9, yep, that's enough. So we're just going to Bloodlust. And we'll bring out the Dark Iron Dwarf if there's something wacky. It is not Freezing Trap, it could be Misdirection. If it's Misdirection, we want to attack with the Flame Tongue Totem because it's the weakest. It's not Misdirection. Looks like that was actually just a snipe. Alright, we have a 13 and an 11 damage dealing creature. Okay. Anyway, that was a good game. J-Hex, Shaman Dizzle in the his house. Anyway, we're gonna pause it right there. If you enjoyed the video, please like and or subscribe. And if you're enjoying how the arena's running, do please stay tuned. The rest of the video games... The rest of the arena games are going to be coming in a video shortly. I shall see you then. I love that, man. Anyway, we'll see you next time.